Title: Popeye. Never give up. Sometimes life puts you in a situation where everything seems to be against you. People may doubt you. Problems may become bigger than you expected. And sometimes, even you may start wondering if you are strong enough to continue. But strength is not about never facing problems. Strength is about refusing to give up when problems appear. Look at Popeye. He may look like an ordinary sailor, but whenever a difficult situation comes his way, he doesn't simply walk away. He faces it. And that is the first lesson we can learn. Don't run away from every problem. Some problems are not there to destroy you. They are there to make you stronger. Life will not always give you an easy road. There will be days when your plans don't work. There will be moments when someone else seems to be doing better than you. You may work hard and still see very little progress. But remember something important. Slow progress is still progress. You don't have to become successful overnight. You don't have to become the strongest person in the room. You just have to become a little stronger than you were yesterday. Popeye's world is full of challenges, but every challenge gives him another reason to keep moving. And that's exactly how we should look at our own problems. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" That one question can change your mindset. Because when you change the way you see a problem, you also change the way you deal with it. Maybe you failed. Maybe someone rejected your idea. Maybe your video didn't get views. Maybe your business didn't work. Maybe you started something and had to stop. It doesn't mean your story is finished. It simply means you are still in the middle of the story. Never judge your entire journey by one bad day. One failure doesn't define you. One mistake doesn't define you. One unsuccessful attempt doesn't define you. What defines you is what you do next. You can stay down, or you can stand up and try again. And sometimes, trying again is the biggest victory. Think about how many times people quit just before things start improving. They work for a few days. They don't see results. Then they stop. They start a new plan. Again, they don't see immediate results. So they stop again. This cycle can continue for years. But successful people understand something different. Results take time. A seed doesn't become a tree in one day. A skill doesn't become excellent after one attempt. A dream doesn't become reality just because you want it. You have to keep working. You have to keep learning. You have to keep improving. And most importantly, you have to keep going. Popeye doesn't spend all his time worrying about what other people think. He focuses on the challenge in front of him. That's another lesson for us. Stop comparing your journey with everyone else's. Someone may have more money. Someone may have more followers. Someone may have better opportunities. Someone may become successful faster than you. That's okay. Their journey is not your journey. Your job is not to beat everyone else. Your job is to become better than your previous self. If yesterday you knew nothing, and today you learned something new, that's progress. If yesterday you were afraid to start, and today you finally started, that's progress. If yesterday you failed, and today you tried again, that's progress. Never underestimate small improvements. Small improvements repeated every day can create a completely different life. And remember, being strong doesn't mean you never feel afraid. Being strong means you continue even when you are afraid. You don't need perfect confidence before you begin. Sometimes confidence comes after you begin. Take the first step, then take another, then another. You may not know exactly where the road will take you. That's okay. You don't need to see the entire staircase. You only need to take the next step. There will always be people who tell you that you cannot do something. Listen carefully. Their opinion is not your destiny. If you know that something is worth trying, give yourself the opportunity to try. You might fail, and that's okay. Failure can teach you something success never could. It can show you where you need to improve. It can make you more patient. It can make you more disciplined. And sometimes, failure can make you stronger. So don't be afraid of failing. Be afraid of never trying. Because years from now, you don't want to look back and wonder, what could I have achieved if I had simply tried? Your future is being built by the decisions you make today. Every small action matters. Every hour you spend learning matters. Every time you choose discipline over laziness, you are building your future. Every time you choose to continue instead of quitting, you are becoming stronger. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to keep moving. So when life gives you a difficult moment, remember the lesson. Stand up, take a breath, look at the problem, and tell yourself, I can handle this. Maybe it will take one day. Maybe it will take 1 month. Maybe it will take years. But if the goal matters to you, don't give up simply because the journey is difficult. Because sometimes the hardest road leads to the strongest version of you. And when you finally reach your goal, you will realize something. The real victory wasn't only reaching the destination. The real victory was becoming the person who refused to quit. So keep learning, keep working, keep improving, keep moving forward. And most importantly, never give up on yourself. Life doesn't stop testing you after one lesson. In fact, once you learn to stand up after falling, life often gives you a new challenge to see if you will stand up again. That is how growth works. Popeye doesn't become strong just once. He keeps facing situations that demand strength again and again. And that is what makes him who he is. Not a single moment of courage, but a habit of courage. You see, real success is not built in one big moment. It is built in small decisions repeated every day. The decision to try again. The decision to not quit. The decision to keep going even when no one is watching. There will be days when you feel tired, days when motivation disappears, days when everything feels slow and heavy. On those days, remember this: you don't need to feel ready. You just need to continue, even if you move slowly, even if you move imperfectly, even if you don't feel your best, because movement is more important than speed. A person who keeps walking will always go further than someone who stops, and life rewards those who refuse to stop. Not immediately, but eventually. Think about every skill you admire. Nobody mastered it in a day. Every expert was once a beginner who didn't quit. Every successful person was once unsure, afraid, and full of doubt. The difference is simple. They stayed in the game longer, and staying in the game is often what decides everything. So when you feel like giving up, don't ask, am I good enough? Instead ask, have I given myself enough time to grow? Because most people quit too early. They stop just before things start to change. And that is the most painful kind of loss. Not failure, but stopping too soon. Popeye teaches us something powerful here. He doesn't wait for perfect conditions. He doesn't wait for fear to disappear. He acts anyway. And that is what you must learn too. You will never have a perfect moment to start. You will never have zero fear. You will never have complete certainty. But you can still begin. And beginning is where everything changes. One step may not look like much, but it breaks the silence of inaction. One effort may not change your life instantly, but it changes your direction. And direction matters more than speed. Because if you are moving in the right direction, you will eventually reach where you need to be. So don't underestimate today. Don't underestimate small efforts. Don't underestimate quiet progress. Even when no one claps for you, even when no one notices, even when results are not visible yet, you are still building something. And one day it will show. One day things will make sense. One day you will look back and realize, I didn't give up, and that changed everything. So keep going. Even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when you doubt yourself, because the version of you that you are becoming is built in moments like these, and that version is worth it. So take a breath, stand tall, and move forward again. Not because it is easy, but because you are stronger than you think. And your journey is still unfolding. There will be moments when everything feels heavier than usual. Not because something new has happened, but because you are tired from everything that has already happened. And in those moments, even simple things can feel difficult. Getting out of bed, starting a task, keeping your thoughts steady. It can all feel like too much. But this is where your real strength begins to show, not in the easy days, but in the heavy ones. Popeye doesn't always look powerful at the start. Sometimes he is calm, sometimes he is unsure, sometimes he is even overwhelmed. But he never stays there. Something inside him always reminds him, you can still act. And that is the key. Because strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the decision to move through it. You don't need to fix everything at once. You don't need to solve your entire life today. You only need to take the next small step. That is enough. When life feels heavy, your mind will try to convince you to stop. It will say, rest forever. Wait until tomorrow. Do it when you feel better. But tomorrow is not promised to feel different. And waiting too long often turns into stopping completely. So instead of waiting for the weight to disappear, learn to move with it. Slowly, quietly, gently. Because even slow progress is still progress. Think of a ship in the ocean. It doesn't need perfect waves to move. It just needs direction. And even in storms, it continues forward. That is what you are learning to become. Someone who does not stop just because the weather changes. There will be days when you feel strong again, and there will be days when you don't. Both are part of the journey, but neither defines your ending. What defines your ending is simple. Did you keep going? Not perfectly, not quickly, but honestly. Even when it was hard, even when no one understood, even when you had every reason to quit, because those are the moments that shape you the most, not the victories, but the persistence. So if today feels heavy, don't fight yourself. Don't judge yourself. Don't compare yourself. Just take one small action, one breath, one step, one decision to continue. That is all you need, because you are not starting over. You are continuing, and continuing is powerful. It means you are still in the story, still becoming, still moving forward, even if it doesn't feel like it. And one day, you will look back at the days that felt impossible and realize they were the days that made you unbreakable. So keep going, even gently, even quietly, even when it feels like nothing is changing, because it is, and so are you.